Pickled vegetables bring a pop of flavor to almost any dish. Some dishes, the only thing that's missing is a subtle or not so subtle hit of acidity. And so in today's video, I want to share with you our 3 favorite vegetables that we love to pickle and that we always have stocked in the fridge. Before we start cutting our vegetables, we are actually going to prepare our liquid mix. And to do this, we're going to take equal parts water and vinegar. And once we mix those in, we'll just bring that over to the stove and throw a little salt on it. And when we do this, we're going to make sure that we pour the salt into our hand first. That way we can use the fingertip technique to make the salt actually a little saltier. That's a joke. It does absolutely nothing. Next, we're going to move on to chopping our jalapenos, and you can really size them out however you would like. Be sure that when you are doing this to be careful with the jalapeno juice. If you have gloves, I encourage you to wear them. I didn't, but the juice of the jalapeno can definitely cause some damage if it gets into the wrong spot, like an eye or a cut or anything like that. So be careful. And in this recipe, I used about 8 jalapenos, and that will fill a medium-sized mason jar. And once all the jalapenos are cut, I like to throw them in a strainer, and this is an optional step, but I'll run it under some water, and it actually rinses out some of the seeds, which makes the jalapenos just a little bit less spicy. So if you're a baby like me, I recommend it, but if you like the spice, you can definitely skip this step. Once we have our jalapenos washed and de-seeded to our liking, we can just go ahead and throw them in the mason jar. And this would be a great step if you have gloves to put the gloves on, because the juices are going to be getting everywhere. If you don't, that's okay. Just make sure you wash your hands thoroughly and wash your prep area if you plan on using the area again. And once they're all in the jar, we can just set it off to the side. Next up is the onions, and it's going to be the same prep process, so I'm going to get those cut up and we'll put them in the jar. First, go ahead and roll it on the cutting board so that you can marvel at the roundness and your ability to choose spherical vegetables. And then next we are going to cut it. Now this is actually something that is kind of debated. You can cut it across the stem like I'm going to do, or you can cut it horizontally. And some people claim that cutting it one way or the other will release certain juices and release certain chemicals within the onion. I don't think it makes too much of a difference personally, and I've tried it both ways as far as taste and as far as color and everything else. So whatever is easiest for you, I think will work just fine. One important step I forgot to mention is to make sure you have a box of tissues nearby. As you'll see in just a second, I cry like a little baby. I'm not crying, you are. This is where we can add a little flavor now to our mixtures. For the jalapenos, all I'm going to do is just crush up some garlic, about 2 cloves, and then add a little bit of salt. Some people like to add things like carrots or white onions or cumin seeds or any other kind of spices or flavorings. Is okay. You really can make it how you want. I like to keep things simple. And on to the final step, we are going to add our water and vinegar mixture. If you have a strainer like I do, it really makes it easy to pour it in. If not, be careful because obviously the liquid will be very hot. And once you have those filled to about the cap level, you can set those off, cool them, and you are done. And it is as simple as that. We have our pickled jalapenos, our pickled onions, and our cucumbers, also known as pickles. And these can be thrown together on so many different savory dishes to add, like I said, that pop of acidity. And sometimes it's just the missing piece you need in a meal. You can throw these in the fridge. I'm gonna put it in a water bath and can it for long-term storage. You can also pressure can it. But if you have not tried these, if you've not tried pickled onions, pickled jalapenos, or pickled cucumbers, they're so easy and I can't recommend them enough. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other recipe ideas, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. My name is Austin, and this is Cypress and Sparrow. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.